So I remember, right, we had to be like, when we really started smoking weed, like if you follow my channel, you know, the first time I smoked weed, I was in, let's say the 7th grade. And the first time I got high, I coughed for 7 blocks coming home from middle school. 7 blocks. No, we was going to school. Yeah, we was going to school. I was high. No, matter of fact, we was coming home because I didn't want to smoke going to class. So I waited till I got out of school. And my cousin, shout out to JJ, he was like, nigga, you want to smoke? I'm like, nah, I'm good. Because I was kind of, a good kid and shit like that. I ain't really want to, you know what I mean, smoke weed and shit like that. Not saying I had a problem with every nigga around me smoke weed. But like, man, just hit the blunt. Like, I hit that shit probably like 3 times. But on the third time, I hit that shit hella hard, bro. Coughed 7 blocks like I was high as fuck, my nigga. So that's like the very first time I smoked. That's for everybody that didn't know the backstory. And time go on. This about the summertime before high school and shit. We started smoking weed and shit. You know what I mean? But the whole 420 shit, we didn't give a fuck about that because we always smoked weed. So speed it up a little bit about you know mid freshman year. You know what I mean? It was coming up about to be 420. And so everybody had shirts and shit. And you know how schools is. They don't like you, when you fucking around with weed and smelling like weed and shit like that. So we was like, all right, we're going to do a session. You know what I mean? So this is the first time that, we ever decided to do a session. It was me, my nigga Mitch, my nigga Sean, and my little brother. At my nigga Sean's house and shit. So we all was like, this how we gonna do it. We all gonna buy some weed and we just gonna roll up. So we had like 4 blunts, the rotation joint. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't want to waste the weed. So we like, yo, let's just do 3 and say the other one for later. Cause you only can get so high. But the goal was we ain't gonna stop smoking until all 3 blunts is roaches, my nigga. So we sitting there passing the shit, passing weed, boom, boom, boom. But you could tell motherfuckers was already getting loaded off the first one, cause we like, yo, why is one of these motherfuckers just sit be like, it ain't rotating, you know what I'm saying? And so we look and we see, cause I forgot, little homie G came, and then we like, this nigga holding the motherfucker high as fuck, just holding like this. And we like, nigga, pass the fucking blunt, what are you doing? This nigga like, oh my bad. That's why we ain't like smoke with him, cause he get high and goofy and on some dumb shit. So we sitting there, blood, and we like high as a motherfucker. We passing them bitches around, and I think the last blunt was like this size. And I'm like, nigga, we gotta keep going. You know what I'm saying? So my brother, he love to smoke weed, so he was like, fuck it. He just holding that bitch, and they ain't really gonna tell that nigga to pass it. They hit me on the leg like, tell your brother, pass that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? He like, all right. You feel me? So he ended up passing the shit. We sitting there high as fuck, but we already went to the store and shit. No, I went to the store and I bought a soda. And my nigga Sean had some shit in his house, but when you go to somebody's house, you can't really, you know what I mean, indulge in shit that ain't really for everybody, because that's the household shit. So the store right there, or we go to one down the block from my house, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I'm like, fuck it, I got a soda, I'll pour everybody a shot or whatever. And we mix that with the soda or whatever. We sitting there chilling and shit, high as fuck. And we just stuck like, man, what the fuck we gonna do? You know what I'm saying? We seeing what's on TV, ain't shit really on TV popping like that. Hot as fuck. It's, in his house, no AC, you know what I mean? And we like, man, bro, we need to fuck out of here. And so we sitting there like, fuck, what the fuck we gonna do? Fuck it, let's just go to school. So we end up going up to the school and shit. You know what I mean? Walking around, high as fuck. You know what I mean? We friends, but you know what I mean? We all got our own separate, organizations, whatever you want to call it, cliques and shit. So we all dismember Voltron, you dig? So he go off with his little athlete friends, you know, the jocks and shit. My other nigga go off with, you know, his peers and shit, and then I go off with, you know, my bro and the people we grew up with, shit like that. And we all cool and shit like that, but I'm like, wait, who the fuck had that last sack? And so I run up to my brother, like, you got that weed, nigga? He like, nah. So I'm like, I knew Sean had that shit. And, you know, some motherfuckers on the football team, whatever, smoking weed, we know he'll dart off, you know how jocks are, they try to be cool and shit. So I go to Mitch, I'm like, Mitch, nigga, you gotta tell Sean, you know what I'm saying, to, you know, bring that shit over or whatever, because he had a phone, I had a phone, so it is what it is. But I ain't wasting my minutes to call a nigga. So, you know, we go to the school, we call a nigga like, yo, nigga, where the fuck you at? Meet us in front of the school. You know what I'm saying? So speed that shit up. Nigga come to the school. We all out there and shit. And we waiting, and I'm there, and Sean there, and Mitch, I don't know where the fuck he went off at. This nigga already up the block from the school. He like, nigga, I thought, cause we'll leave school, but it's like an area, like on the next side of the street, you can go up in the hills and shit. This nigga already up there, and I'm like, what is that? Like, you know how the light, the sun, you can do the little trick with if you got some like glass or something, like, what is that beam and shit? So we look up there, and it's that nigga saying, come up here, come up here. So that became like our little weed spot or whatever, where we smoke weed and shit. I get into that in another video. So we go up there and shit, and we sitting there, and we all still high as fuck. Nobody wants to roll a blunt. So we sat there for like 20 minutes just, you know, talking about hella shit, laughing, making fun of each other, joking and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? But we heard motherfuckers come down the stairs because it's like a trail and shit and houses and shit. So we like, you know, they come down like, yo, what the fuck y'all doing and shit? You know what I mean? We dip. And mind you, the stairs is like some stairs, my nigga, like on some Rocky movie shit. Like, instead of going straight, they go this way, that way, that. You gotta go back down to, you know what I'm saying, the concrete and shit, you know what I mean, on the street. So that shit was crazy, because if you run too fast, you will fall. And me being me, it's dirt right here instead of the steps. I'm running straight through the dirt, fuck all that. And then a fence, you gotta hit the fence. I kind of fucked my J's up, but I didn't give a shit. So we sit there, we rolling and shit. And we like, bro, we need to get the fuck out of here, you know what I'm saying? So we hit the gate, go back in. So let's go to the bleachers, you know what I'm saying? So we go to do the yard and shit, go to the bleachers. You know what I mean? They having like, think baseball practice or something. We sitting there rolling up and shit. And we look under the bleachers, you see motherfuckers down there. What the fuck is they doing? And we end up knowing one of the niggas, and they smoking too. So we end up having another session right there. But we like, hold on, bro. Like, what kind of weed y'all got? We had perp, and they had like some, you could say kush, green and shit, but you could smell it. It was cool, but it wasn't what we had. So we like, nah, bro. We just, you know what I mean? We ain't go fade them out, you dig? You could just hit our shit. So we make sure we get 3 rounds first while they smoking they blunt, and then we just let them have the rest of that shit. You know what I mean? So that shit was crazy. The cops came, nigga, skedaddle. But it's only 2 ways to get out from the bleachers. You gotta run all the way this way, all the way that way. But I remember that if we run 1, 2, 3, 4 steps, it's a hole in the gate. I don't know who the fuck used the cutters to put a hole right there, but everybody else didn't know that. And nigga, we do, boom. But it's a big ass metal gate when you run out the motherfucker to get out of the school in the back alley and shit. So niggas already knew, like, if you gonna risk it or not. I was so slim, I fit through the motherfuckers. How the fuck you fit through that shit? Like, skinny ass nigga, dog. My head did get hurt though. I had a long ass scar on my shit, but I squeezed my body through there. One of my shoes fell off. Grabbed that motherfucker. We broke, nigga. We go this way, 2 of us go that way, 2 of us go that way. You know what I'm saying? But I knew a bitch that lived in apartments right there. So I'm like, yo, come on. I grabbed Mitch, like, yeah, come on this way. So we went over there, boom. All that shit was just crazy, you know, having fun. That was like the first session. See, when we smoke weed, our sessions always turn to other shit, doing more than just sitting around smoking weed. It'd be like little adventures and shit. So that was like one of the ones, our very first session and shit. And then from that point on, we just started hotboxing and shit like that and riding around smoking. But that was like our very first session. We won't never forget that shit. That day was fucking crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? All this shit high as fuck, running around doing absolutely some crazy shit though, running and jumping over fences and shit. You know what I mean? We just wanted to smoke weed on 420. But that was years ago though. But yeah, so hope y'all had a good 420. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this blunt. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'ma holler at y'all, man. Y'all been all that. Thanks for watching.